Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Adrien Broner takes the high road regarding Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao. Says that he just glad that both fighters got out healthy, with all their faculties and able to go home to their families. I want to elaborate on this. Keith Thurman didn't take the high road when it came to Adrien Broner versus Manny Pacquiao. Adrien Broner gets a lot of flack for how he is outside of the ring, but doesn't get enough credit for how he truly is outside of the ring, right? He gets a lot of flack for the antics and the things he does, outside of the ring. But when you really look at him, nobody gives him credit for how he truly is, right? So with that said, Keith Thurman said that, he blasted Adrien Broner for absolutely not performing up to the standards that Keith Thurman thought that he should have performed when it came to Manny Pacquiao, right? Keith Thurman said, I was rooting for the boy, right? But then I realized AB stands for about bullshit, right? He didn't go there to win. He didn't go there to fight. The crazy part about this is that Keith Thurman got obliterated far worse than Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner put up a far better effort against Manny Pacquiao than Keith Thurman did. Adrien Broner's defense against Manny Pacquiao was far better than that of Keith Thurman's, right? Adrien Broner's output may not have been the same as Keith Thurman's, but he was just as accurate as Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman couldn't hurt Manny Pacquiao, right? Keith Thurman got dropped. Keith Thurman was visibly hurt multiple times in this fight against Manny Pacquiao. He was dropped in the first round. He was hurt to the body. His nose was bleeding. His eye was swelling, right? Keith Thurman took a lot of punishment in this fight. Adrien Broner did no such thing. No such thing, right? Adrien Broner tried to fight a strategic defensive fight against Manny Pacquiao, which has been proven to work when fighting Manny Pacquiao, right? You have to have a great counter-punching defense of abilities to beat Manny Pacquiao. Thus Floyd Mayweather, but I don't even count him. But when you look at Juan Manuel Marquez, guys that had success against Manny Pacquiao, Eric Morales, right? You look at their styles and what they did. They were counter-punching with defense. You understand? Keith Thurman's defense was null and void. Didn't show up from the opening bell. Obviously, he got dropped in the first round, right? Going backwards. He got hurt to the body by a left hook that was visibly hurt. Took his mouthpiece out as he was trying to run away from Manny Pacquiao. He took his mouthpiece out as he was trying to run away from Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Adrien Broner did no such thing. Adrien Broner got hit with one visible punch that obviously staggered him back one time in that fight against Manny Pacquiao, right? Adrien Broner punches had a lot more effect on Manny Pacquiao than Keith Thurman did, and Keith Thurman landed a lot more clean punches on Manny Pacquiao, right? So I think that, Keith Thurman needs to come out and issue an apology to Adrien Broner because he let it go on Adrien Broner, and Keith Thurman got in the ring and at times looked like he was ready to quit. Keith Thurman got in the ring and at times looked like he was about to get stopped. Keith Thurman got in the ring and was having inactivity as well, right? That's just due to the nature of Manny Pacquiao, the greatness of Manny Pacquiao. And I don't think Keith Thurman took that into account when he looked at Adrien Broner's fight with Manny Pacquiao, right? Because all Keith Thurman looked at was Jeff Horn. But Jeff Horn had a lot more success than Keith Thurman did. You understand? So, this is no knock on Keith Thurman, but when guys call out other guys, right, for doing something, and then they immediately follow them up and do a lot worse job, then that has to be pointed out. Because the facts remain is Keith Thurman fought Manny Pacquiao immediately following Adrien Broner's fight, where Keith Thurman called out Adrien Broner for not performing up to the standards that he thought he could have performed and done what he was supposed to do. Keith Thurman was the one that put the spotlight on himself, saying he was going to retire the great Manny Pacquiao. This was his last fight. Keith Thurman was the one that was attacking Manny Pacquiao in numerous ways. Keith Thurman was the one that said Adrien Broner was about BS, right? AB stood for about BS, right? That was Keith Thurman that said that. So if Keith Thurman, you're going to come out and do all of that, then you have to be, if you're going to criticize somebody, then you have to be man enough to prove and admit when you're wrong. And say, listen, you know what? Manny Pacquiao was better than what I thought. Now I understand why Adrien Broner didn't have the output that he should have, that I thought he should have. And most fighters don't have when they face Manny Pacquiao. Only chosen few, only a handful. Eric Morales, right? At times, Marco Antonio Barrera, right? Floyd Mayweather, obviously, right? Juan Manuel Marquez, just a handful, right? You see, Keith Thurman pointed out that Manny Pacquiao had 7 losses in his career. Well, 2 of those 7 losses came at the hands of Timothy Bradley and Jeff Horn, which most of the public, most of the boxing world thought he won both of those fights. So that would leave him with 5 losses, right? Then two more of those losses came very, very early in his career, right? Where people didn't even really know who Manny Pacquiao was and what he was going to blossom into, okay? So now that leaves you down back to 3 losses, right? One was a legit to Eric Morales. One was a knockout victory. Obviously, he lost that fight because he was face down, knocked out cold against Juan Manuel Marquez. And the other was to Floyd Money Mayweather. So we have to understand the magnitude and the legend of Manny Pacquiao. So see, Keith Thurman, to me, when you got in the ring tonight and you had a performance that was worse than Adrien Broner's, right? And now I know people are gonna come out and say, well, Keith Thurman was getting hit and because he was taking chances and he was opening up where Adrien Broner wasn't. Well, that's not the way you beat Manny Pacquiao. So that's a bad game plan because it's been proven that offensive fighters don't beat Manny Pacquiao, right? It's the defensive counterpunches that beat Manny Pacquiao. I just stated Eric Morales, right? Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather. You understand? This is that knockout punch that Juan Manuel Marquez landed he was stepping backwards to the ropes, and as Manny came in, he counterpunched him and caught him with a straight right hand. You understand? Floyd Mayweather was countering him all night, and so was Eric Morales. The other 2 losses, you know what, came early in his career as he got stopped to the body, both those losses. And then he had another loss, 2 losses to Jeff Horn and Timothy Bradley, where people thought that he was absolutely robbed in those fights. And it was clear cut that he won those fights. So now you have 7 losses on his resume. 3 of legit. 2 came early in his career. They were legit, but they came very, very early in his career. So that's 5. You understand? And then you point to the other 2 that were really robberies, to say the least. The first fight with Timothy Bradley and that Jeff Horn fight. So you see, the blueprint to beat Manny Pacquiao is defensive counterpunching. So guess what? Adrien Broner had the right mindset. He had the right game plan. He just didn't let his hands go enough and counterpunching Manny Pacquiao enough to get the judge's decision, to get the judge's nod. You understand? So with that said, Keith Thurman's style didn't work. It never worked in Manny Pacquiao's career. So that was a bad game plan. So Adrien Broner takes the high road when it comes to this, the ending and the conclusion to Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. But Keith Thurman didn't choose the high road. And I feel like Keith Thurman should say to Adrien Broner, listen, you know something? You was right. I understand why you were hesitant, because I was being offensive and I paid the ultimate price. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Adrien Broner responds to Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. Everybody think that Adrien Broner was gonna, take the opportunity, to drag Keith Thurman through the mud, but he chose the high road. So that's all I got for y'all. After Keith Thurman was asked about Manny Pacquiao versus Adrien Broner, and he said AB stood for about BS. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the